Good evening, class. This is our Team Teach 2. I'm Tyler Draper.
I'm Gabby Guest.
I'm Sarah Virnig.
And today we're going to go over each of these problems and help you through them. All right. You want to read this first problem, Sarah?
Yes. A person with the antigens A, B, or both A and B has a respective blood type AB or AB. If neither antigens are present and the type is O, draw and label the circle that illustrates the ABO system.
All right, so this equation or this problem here is a possibility problem. We need to determine what are the different possibilities and how can we break them into different groups. So basically, which diagram represents the ABO system? So it says a person with the antigens A and B, so A or B, AB, and then if it's neither, it has to be O. So if we look at, let's see, this one here, that on the top right, we see that it has A and B and O, but it doesn't have AB. The bottom right, this one has AB and O, but it doesn't have A or B. The middle one here, or the one on the bottom left, has A, B, and B, but what if you're neither of those and you're O? So that leaves us with this top left one here. We have A type, B type, in the very middle of the Venn diagram, AB, and if you're neither of those, then you're the O. So the top right one is, or top left one is correct. Okay, let's see. All right, and Gabby, why does the U part on the figure only contain a few letters when there are so many stated in the question?
Okay, so the Venn diagram is inside of the U with the box. So everything in the box is accounted for the letter U. The U is everything that is contained in the square. So that's why it only shows a few right here, because they're all in the Venn diagram as well.
Okay.
What does the upside down U and U symbolize?
Okay, and they look like U's, but they're not U's. So the first one, the upside down U, that's an intersection of sets. That's where A, B meets, or B, C, or A, B, and C. Now the symbol that looks like a U, that's union, and it means and. So it's what's in both of the sets.
Okay, let's see. All right.
Determine the numbers for A, B, C, and D for the triangles shown to the right.
Okay, so this equation here, let's see, let me move this up. We see that in the top one, the corners of the triangle plus the side equals the number in the middle. So for instance, 1 plus 6 plus 2 equals 9. 2 plus 4 plus 3 equals 9. And 3, 5, and 1 all equal 9. So we're going to determine the numbers for A, B, C, and D for the triangle shown to the right. Let's see, the question is actually on the next one. All right, so determine the numbers for A, B, and C, and D for the triangle shown to the right. Let's see. Okay, so if A equals 3, we'll go ahead and write a 3 here. Then what does B and C equal? All right, so we have our equation here. So it'll be 3 plus 6 plus B, simple algebraic equation, and it will equal 10. And we see that if, or 3 plus 6 is 9, plus B equals 10. So as we see, B equals 1. All right. And then it says, then what does B and C equal? Well, C, we know that A is 3, so 3 plus 2 is 5, and then 5 minus 10 is 5, so C will equal 5 as well. Now, let me clear. Let's see here. All right. Okay, what does the U and upside down U mean?
The U stands for union, which represents a collection of sets. With the set of all distinct elements that are in any of these sets, and the upside down U just represents like an intersection between two.
Okay. All right, how do you solve for for number 2, A intersects B, number 3, B intersects C, and 4, A union C?
Okay, so with A intersect B, we look at the circles A and B, and you look at where the circles overlap each other, and we can find D and H. So the answer for 2 is D and H. And then we go to number 3, which is the intersect of B and C. And again, you look at the circles B and C, find where they overlap, and they also have D and H in common. So for number 4, it's the union of sets A and C. So you look at A and C, and what you do is you include everything that's in the circles, not just what overlaps. So the union of A and C is B, C, D, G, and H.
All right. So basically, this would be the intersection. These
Right.
areas, kind of, I guess. And let's see. These would be, well, for number 2, A and B, these would be, or well, no, I got that wrong. Those would be the intersection. All right, let's see. Are y'all able to use the drawing and whatnot on your screen?
I don't think so.
Does it not? It doesn't offer that? Okay. Okay.
What does the symbol V equal?
So the symbol V in this equation, we're going to solve it. So we see that we are given that B, so the red circle B, its total will equal 30. So that means 8 plus 6 plus V plus S will all have to equal 30. And then we see that A intersects B intersects C equals 6. So let's see. So we see that the very middle here is 6. And then A intersects B will be 14. So that means that 8 plus 6 equals 14, where A and B intersect. Our next step, we see that the intersection of A and B will subtract the 2. So A intersects B, which is 14 minus 6, or the A intersects B intersects C, which was 6, and we get 8. So we see how we got the 8 that was already given here. And then we have B intersects C equals 16, and that was given over here. And so what we do there is we're going to subtract the 6 from that. We see the 6 and the B here, and we will get 10, so B equals 10.
Now that we know V, what is What is S?
Let's see, what is S? All right, so now that we know what V is, which we figured that V equals 10, so we'll go ahead and lay out our algebraic equation here. We know that B, the whole thing, is going to equal 30. So we have 30 minus our 8 from here, minus our 6, and minus our 10 that we got for V, and we see that it equals 8. So S equals 8. So 8 plus 6 plus 10 plus 8 will all equal 30, and that's how we determine B, or well, the letter S. Okay. What is the easiest way to figure out this equation? What was your method?
So my method to figure out this equation a lot simpler is to put like a little like diagram here, like a little key, which is what the letters mean, and that's just what got me through this easier. So H equals hexagonal, C equals circular, T is triangle, S would be small, R red, L large, and B blue. So it just makes it a lot easier to figure out the question.
Okay, let's see. Okay, is this the right one, Sarah?
Yes.
Okay. What does the line over the A mean, and how do you solve it?
Okay, well, the line over the A, it means a complement of the set. So it's everything that's not included in the set of A. So as you can see, I wrote that the complement set of A is A, E, and F. And as you notice, when you look in the circle, we have B, C, D, G, and H. But A and E is out in the universe, and F is in B. So, I mean, that's a simple way to determine what's not in A is you just look at what's not in the circle.
All right, let's see. All right, so I answered 2 problems on that one. Okay, let's see. And I got 2 on this one, so we'll do like kind of, I guess, just one for this round.
Okay. Does the blue part represent a union or intersection between A and B?
Okay, so first we have to determine what a union is. And a union is defined as 2 sets in a new set that contains all the elements that are in at least one of the 2 sets. So A union B, or A or B. So in this one, we see that, then we have intersection, 2 sets in a new set that contains all of the elements that are in both sets. So A and B. So in this one, we see the blue shade here, and we can tell that it's an intersection because we have both A and B in the equation, or in the Venn diagram. Okay, let's see.
Why is part B 1,937 and not 2,137?
Okay, so a lot of people might confuse the part B with that number, because if you just look at the key, you can count up all of the numbers and you get 2,137. But you also need to know that if you have the 2 letters after each other, CM, that equals 900 instead of just 1,000 plus 100. So it would just be 900. So that's how you can figure that out, why it's 1,937 instead of that number.
How do you round numbers to get an estimation of the answer?
Okay, so many people mess up when rounding because they forget that if it's 5 or above, you round up, and if it's under 5, like 4 and below, you round down. A lot of people think that because it's a 5, some people round down, but always remember to round up. So 883 would round up to 900, 465 rounds up to 500, and 134 rounds down to 100. So when you add it up, and then you're going to get 1,400 divided by 100, and then your answer will be 14. This is just a rough estimate, to do quick math in your head. The actual answer is 10.6. So you're not far off from the precise answer with your estimate.
All right, let's see.
The orange square in an intersection of what letters?
All right, so the orange square we have here, we know that it's an intersection because it's in between all three of the circles on here. And if we take a look at it, we see that on this Venn diagram, which has 3 circles, it intersects all 3 points. So we have circle A, circle B, and circle C. It shares an intersection of all 3.
How do you multiply using the lattice algorithm?
All you have to do is you make a cube with all these little slants in the middle, and since you're multiplying 28 by 32, you put your 2 and your 8 on the top, and then your 32 on the right side, and then all you have to do is do 8 times 3 and you get 24, and then 3 times 2 and you get 6, and you put your 0 there to hold your place value, and then you just keep on multiplying. And then you also do 6 plus 2 plus 0 gives you 8, and then 0 gives you 0, and so on and so forth. So that is how you multiply, and you'd get 896, and it shows you on the other sides of the square. And then the 0 would also be for place value as well.
Well, I tried to draw, but so basically what you're saying is the answer is on the left side here.
Yes.
All right. Okay, let's see. What is 415, or sorry, what is 414 base 5 minus 43 base 5?
Okay, to solve this problem first, we have to know what base 5 is. And with base 5, you can only use digits leading up to 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And when you subtract, it's the same thing. If you get a 5 or above, you can't use it. But 4 minus 3 is 1. So that's fine. It's not above 5. So you put your 1 and you go to the next place, which is 1 minus 4, which we can't do because 1 is smaller and it leaves us with a negative number. So we must borrow from 4. So when we borrow from 4, it becomes a 3, and we borrowed 5. So 5 plus 1 gives us 6. 6 minus 4 is 2. And then 3 minus 0 is 3. So I'm not sure why I didn't write a 3 down there, but it should be 321 with a base of 5.
So 321. There we go. All right. And oh. Okay, I'm through all my questions, so let's see. Explain common mistakes that may happen on Part C and how to use the rules of PEMDAS efficiently.
Okay, so on the Part C, some people who don't really know much about PEMDAS, or even if you do know and you just forget, you might divide 620 from 293 first and also divide 430 by 293. But you actually have to multiply the top number first, and you'd get this huge number right here. And then you would divide 293, and you get that. And you have to remember that PEMDAS is in order. So parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So that's just some key ways to not mess up on a problem like this.
Okay. Basically, you're saying it keeps the order of operations.
Yes.
How do you find which shapes are found in the set L intersects H?
Okay. First thing you got to do is find out what L and H means. I made a key. It's in the top left. L is large and H is hexagonal. So you're looking for the intersect. Again, you're looking for what is overlapping. So to find the intersect of L and H, it would be all shapes that are large and hexagonal.
All right, let's see. I guess that's it, right?
Yep.
I think so.
All right. Thank y'all so much and have a good night. What else?